Welcome to the RTPI Awards for Planning Excellence in the English Regions for 2021. Running for over 40 years, our awards provide an important opportunity to reflect, recognize, and reward the achievements of planning professionals, teams, organizations, and young planners at the local level where you are. It is through these awards that we can celebrate the very best, and in doing so, put planning in the spotlight for all to see. Through this achievement, we will continue to transform our communities, protect and enhance our environment, and help shape successful and resilient economies for future generations. As President, one of the most inspiring parts of my presidential year is going out to the nations and regions, meeting planners and teams in person, understanding how you have turned local challenges into opportunities for innovation, growth, and development through proactive communication and engagement with local communities. Today, in our regional awards ceremony, it is time to celebrate our joint effort to make our world a better place. Planners, we are at the forefront in tackling the environmental, social, and economic challenges of our times. Even during the pandemic, we have kept going, and now we are looking to the future to ensure a greener and healthier recovery. The wide range of excellent entries this year have kept our judges busy over the last few months. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the judges for volunteering their time, knowledge, and expertise. I would also like to thank all the sponsors whose support enable these awards to take place and also help to widen the reach of showcasing best practice. I'm delighted to hear that across the nations and regions, we had over 110 entries this year, and from what I've been told, narrowing down the shortlist has been quite a challenge. If you are inspired by what you see and hear today, we would encourage you to enter into the 2022 RTPI Awards for Planning Excellence, opening early in the new year. Finally, to find out more about the finalists in your region and the winners of the awards, I now hand over to your regional chair. Best of luck, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Wei. It's now my turn to say a very warm welcome to the RTPI West Midlands Awards for Planning Excellence. We are delighted once again to be able to announce this year's award winners. This year, as a region, we've continued to adapt and to engage our members through our online programme of CPD and events, including roundtable discussions on emerging policy and research. Over the last few months, it's been great to have the pleasure of actually meeting each other again in person, including getting to welcome a group of new faces to the profession in the region at the Young Planners Social. It was so good to see you all there. The region's resilience has been demonstrated through the range of excellent submissions that we've received to this year's awards, and the challenge that our judging panel faced in narrowing these down to a short list of 6 examples of planning excellence in the West Midlands and 3 outstanding and inspiring young planners. I'd just like to acknowledge the time and effort that so clearly had gone into all of the project submissions that we received this year. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank the judging panel who volunteered their time and efforts to judging our awards this year. We could not have done it without you. I'd also like to thank our headline sponsor, Number 5 Chambers, and Tetra Tech, the sponsor of our Award for Planning Excellence. Our sponsor's long-term support has ensured that we are able to continue with the awards despite the extraordinary recent circumstances. I'll now hand over to Ashley Baldwin, our RTPI West Midlands Vice Chair and Head Judge for this year's awards, to reveal the 2021 Award for Planning Excellence shortlist and winner.
First nomination is for the Alexander Stadium redevelopment, Arup. Arup are providing architecture, urban design and master planning, civil and structural building services planning, fire, lighting, transport planning, stakeholder engagement, landscape and acoustics, ecology from across the Arup network. The team have reimagined the stadium to enable it to become a high-quality venue for diverse sporting, leisure, community and cultural events, creating a legacy that will last. The second nomination is the Coventry Cathedral Conservation Management Plan, Purcell Architecture Limited. No century has left us a more varied set of conservation challenges within the built environment than the 20th century. Coventry Cathedral Conservation Management Plan sets out for the first time the understanding, significance, vulnerabilities and policies to support an informed management of change at this important Grade 1 listed post-war site. The research and policy approach at Coventry adds to the international corpus of conservation planning for post-war sites, and the innovative Conservation Management Toolkit provides a clear and objective methodology for assessing significance and managing sustainable future change. The third nomination is Glasswater Locks St Joseph Homes. Glasswater Locks is the latest phase in the regeneration of Eastside, Birmingham, and will provide a more balanced community through the provision of 753 new homes and over 2,300 square metres of flexible commercial and leisure floor space that will complement a world-class educational campus. Glasswater Locks announces the arrival to the city centre and the nearby HS2 terminus, while successfully responding to a number of heritage assets. An attractive public realm opens up the canalside environment and provides new connections to the surrounding area. The scheme evolved through extensive engagement with Birmingham City Council, as well as the general public and technical stakeholders. The fourth nomination is the HS2 Phase 1 Automated People Mover High Speed 2 Limited. HS2's Automated People Mover, APM for short, is a unique and exciting project which will connect the Solihull Economic Hub and strategic transport links to the high-speed rail network. Via the APM, its accessibility will be transformed, and so will the lives of future generations in the West Midlands and beyond. The approved APM design sets a new benchmark for a people mover of this type, with a contextual design which is fully inclusive and accessible, and which will benefit and transform future projects around, all delivered through the effective collaboration of HS2, its consultant teams, Solihull Council and stakeholders. The fifth nomination is West Bromwich Outdoor Market, Sandwell Borough Council. The West Bromwich Outdoor Market redevelopment sought to replace a tired, unattractive row of market stalls with a new offer looking to improve the visual amenity of the area, deliver against the Council's sustainability agenda and increase the economic impact of the market, which is at the cultural heart of the town centre. Through the use of groundbreaking PV technology, the markets are now a net contributor to energy in the borough, in addition to being a functional, distinctive market facility for traders. The scheme has been shortlisted for the Energy Awards 2021, recognising its green credentials. The sixth nomination is the West Midlands National Park, the West Midlands National Park Lab, Birmingham City University. The West Midlands National Park is a long-term vision for a new kind of national park, applauded by the UK Government's Global Review of Landscapes. It is an integrated and holistic economic, social and environmental vision incorporating all of the land in the West Midlands and all aspects of land use. It is about integrated, sustainable and meaningful transformation as much as conservation and preservation. The West Midlands National Park is shifting perceptions of the region, already impacting local and national government policy and spending, empowering communities and stakeholders and generating a sense of hope and optimism for the future. And I'm pleased to announce that the winner of the 2021 RTPI West Midlands Awards for Planning Excellence, sponsored by Tetra Tech, is the Alexander Stadium redevelopment, Arrow. I would now like to hand over to Ryan Walker, the current holder of the RTPI Young Planner Award.
Hello, I'm Ryan Walker and I'm delighted to introduce this year's Young Planner of the Year awards for our English regions. I was fortunate enough to be awarded RTPI Young Planner of the Year for 2021. It's been an amazing few months already, filled with numerous experiences of professional networking, being interviewed for magazines, writing blogs, speaking at conferences, and just generally being granted a platform to speak about the issues that are closest to my heart. Namely, standing up for young planners, speaking out and raising our collective voices, and making sure that young planners are central to tackling the most critical issues of our time. Being awarded Young Planner of the Year undoubtedly has opened many doors, many that I never even dreamt would be possible, and to say I feel privileged would be a massive understatement. So thank you to the RTPI for granting me this fantastic opportunity. Now, this year we've welcomed an inspiring range of Young Planner nominations from across our regions and nations, including awarding our first ever Young Planner of the Year for London and Scotland. I know many of you will be keen to hear the results, but before we announce the finalists and winners of where you are, let me tell you a little bit about why I think the award of Young Planner of the Year is so important. Young planners are the future but also the present of the Institute. We have more than 8,000 members of our Young Planners network, which is the gateway to not only getting more involved with the RTPI, but most importantly, a facility to meet like-minded planners, to support each other through those early career stages, and to inspire the next generation and develop key personal and professional skills. Young planners are at the heart of shaping futures. They are the generation of a time when planning for climate change, health, inclusivity are at the heart of what we need to aspire to. Their ideas, motivation, creativity are what the RTPI want to showcase through these awards, and I ask everyone to consider nominating their colleagues in the future. Now, this award seeks out the brightest RTPI members in the early stages of their careers. Potential candidates can work in any area within the industry, and we are looking for outstanding young planners who can demonstrate a contribution to planning or significant career achievements in recent years. Entrants can nominate themselves or can be nominated by an employer, a colleague or a peer. I'm also proud to say that in 2022 we will be introducing a mentorship programme for our winners, which means that becoming Young Planner of the Year is no longer just a title, but a fantastic opportunity for supported personal growth and professional profile raising. So all that leaves me to say is good luck.
Thank you, Ryan. I am pleased to introduce the West Midlands Young Planner Award shortlisted nominees. The first West Midlands shortlisted nominee is Camille Rock. Camille is a University of Birmingham postgraduate who communicates across the gap between students, local communities, and planning practitioners to lead ambitious change in Birmingham.
My name is Camille. I'm a graduate town planner with Atkins in Birmingham, and I've just recently completed a Masters in Urban Regional Planning at the University of Birmingham. I became a planner as a way of addressing the social and environmental issues that I picked up on in my geography degree at undergraduate level. And I see planners as multifaceted communicators able to connect people and places. If I became an RTPI ambassador, I would use the opportunity to communicate the value of communication within the planning process, both across the various disciplines involved, like landscape ecology and environmental practice, but also empowering the voices of local people.
The second shortlisted nominee is Miles Wildsmith. Miles is a passionate, enthusiastic and driven young planner with a strong commitment to driving forward innovative approaches to planning and placemaking in the region.
Hi, my name is Miles Wildsmith and I'm an Associate Director in our Literal's Birmingham office. I'm from a family of architects, and design and the built environment has always been important to me, and that's ultimately led me into my career in planning. Terms such as climate change, biodiversity, spatial planning and economic growth are at the forefront of our planning discussions, but there's limited agreement on the way forward. I firmly believe that the solution to these pressing issues will and must emerge from greater cross-boundary collaboration at national and regional levels. So in this context, a key priority for me will be to champion a return to strategic planning in the region, as it's the only realistic means of delivering integrated solutions to these hugely important issues at scale and at pace.
Finally, the third shortlisted nominee is Simeon Shabutnev. Simeon's passion for an international, climate-aware and diverse planning profession has driven his advocacy for young people's engagement and multidisciplinary education of future planners.
My name is Simeon Shabutnev and I'm currently a senior lecturer and a doctoral researcher at Birmingham City University, researching the role of teenagers in the planning of future cities. I trained as an architect originally, but started my career in planning because I realized that the issues I want to solve in the world require holistic and strategic thinking. Planning for me as a discipline is a manifestation of our survival instincts as human species. It's an activity that we really need to continue improving upon if we are to protect the natural world, innovate as humanity, and improve our societies. As an immigrant, I want to encourage learning from international examples of planning and promote planning internationally. There is a big capacity gap across developing and developed countries, especially across the Commonwealth and in Eastern Europe, where planning can actually help meet the demand of climate change. Close to home, we're working with young people in Balso Heat on a COP26 related project, and the same knowledge gap is evident. More than ever, we need to think globally but act locally. Encouraging more young people in the planning profession and engaging them as active citizens in their urban environment to change their local areas is a top priority of mine. Making sure that the voices of young people are heard loudly by politicians and decision makers is at the core of my research and my activities. Thank you for listening.
And the winner of the 2021 RTPI West Midlands Young Planner Award is Simeon. The judges felt that Simeon has shown he is passionate about planning and is seeking to infuse future generations through his work at BCU, wider engagement and networking in the UK and across Europe. He is involved in raising the profile of the profession and is a strong advocate, championing planning and good design. Congratulations, Simeon. Now I'm going to pass over to Steph.
Thank you, Ryan and Ash. As your RTPI West Midlands Chair for 2021, it is my honour and great privilege to be able to announce the winner of this year's Chairs Award. The Chairs Award gives me the opportunity to recognise a person, organisation, place, project or initiative that has gone above and beyond. The West Midlands has one of the youngest and most diverse populations in the country, with approximately a third of its residents aged under 25. As a fundamental thread running through our work as planners, contributing to the achievement of sustainable development highlights our responsibility to future generations, particularly at a time when we're facing a global climate emergency, a biodiversity crisis, and working to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, which has disproportionately disadvantaged young people. The potential impact that we as planners have on our future generations through the decisions that we make now are difficult to comprehend. It's never been more critical for us to ensure that we're effectively engaging young people in important decisions that will affect their futures. So, the theme for this year's RTPI West Midlands Chairs Award is planning for future generations. Whether it's how we engage young people in planning and designing our environments, considering the implications of our decisions on the lifestyles, health and well-being of future generations, or ensuring that the planning profession continues to become more diverse, reflective of the communities that we serve, and able to draw upon different ways of thinking to achieve more equitable urban areas fit for the future. So this year I have the honour of awarding the Chairs Award to the West Midlands Young Combined Authority. The Young Combined Authority was set up by the West Midlands Combined Authority in September 2019. It brings together a diverse board of young people who will live, learn and work across the West Midlands to build youth insights and challenge into regional decision making. It gives young people aged 16 to 25 the opportunity to be represented in the region's leadership, speak up for younger generations and be heard on regional priorities, from the future of cities and transport to tackling inequalities, informing and influencing regional policy. The Young Combined Authorities work with Aston University's Strategic Priorities Fund and Beat Freaks to develop its own vision for the region, publishing its Our West Midlands Young Combined Authority Vision and Priorities for the Future in February 2021. The vision sets out what matters to young people in the region, outlining its priorities and using this as a platform for establishing a series of key asks for regional leaders across 7 priority areas. The Young Combined Authority has also been recognised as champions for the broader Combined Authority's work around energy and the environment, including their role in speaking up and advocating for change at board meetings and to local leaders. Recognising the success of the Young Combined Authority in providing a voice for young people in the region, the West Midlands Combined Authority is seeking to create a larger Young Combined Authority community and is in the process of recruiting the next group of young people to the Young Combined Authority. In what is often an adult-centric planning system, it's fantastic to see the Young Combined Authority leading the way at a regional level to actively engage young people and provide our future generations with real opportunities to be heard and influence strategy and policy decisions. So it is with great pleasure that I award this year's Chairs Award to the West Midlands Young Combined Authority. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate our own Maria Dunn, who has recently been awarded the RTPI Outstanding Service Award at a recent meeting of the Institute's General Assembly. A member of the West Midlands Regional Activities Committee, past chair and member of the Regional Management Board, Maria has been a key player in every aspect of our regional work, and I'm sure you'd all like to join me in thanking her for her outstanding contribution to the RTPI West Midlands. Congratulations, Maria. Thank you very much for joining us for our virtual awards ceremony. Thank you to our headline sponsor, Number 5 Chambers, and to Tetra Tech, sponsor for our award for planning excellence. Most of all, thank you to everyone who nominated or put forward a development plan, project or young planner for this year's awards. Congratulations to all of our winners tonight.